Let's jump right into this explainer and peel back the screen on the world's fastest growing tech. You know the feeling, right? You ask a machine a question, and literally within seconds, it's writing essays, solving math, spitting out complex code. It feels like absolute magic. It's so seamless, it's honestly easy to forget that there isn't actually a human typing behind the screen, frantically Googling answers for you. Millions of us use it every single day. But let's be real, most people have absolutely no clue what is actually happening under the hood when they press enter. So today we're going to break down the actual mechanics of ChatGPT.
Seeing it do all this incredible stuff naturally makes us wonder, does this machine actually understand what you're saying? I mean, a lot of folks just assume it's basically searching a giant hidden copy of the internet. Or maybe even that it's, slightly conscious because the chats feel so incredibly real. Can it actually think like a human? Or is something else entirely going on behind the scenes?
To figure that out, we really need to look at the difference between true human understanding and how AI actually processes things. As humans, we know facts based on lived experiences, right? We have beliefs, we have emotions, we get tired, we know what it feels like to be happy. The AI, it doesn't do any of that. It literally doesn't even know it's having a conversation with you. Instead of understanding words the way you and I do, it relies entirely on layers of math, recognizing patterns, and calculating probabilities. It's completely alien to human thought, but honestly, that makes it even more impressive. Layer 1, prediction and tokens.
Okay, so if I start a sentence with, the Earth revolves around your brain instantly fills in the word sun. You didn't even have to try, right? It's just based on a lifetime of learning. Well, surprisingly, ChatGPT does the exact same thing thousands of times a second. But instead of drawing on a deep understanding of astronomy, it's simply predicting what word is mathematically most likely to come next. And then it predicts the next one, and the next, over and over, insanely fast, turning those tiny predictions into full, natural-sounding paragraphs. The reason it sounds so incredibly human is because it studied the structural patterns of billions of words. We're talking books, articles, research papers, massive chunks of the internet. It wasn't born knowing science or history. It had to be trained on a massive scale. Imagine a student who hasn't just read a textbook but has practically analyzed every piece of text ever uploaded online. It didn't memorize it all word for word, though. It just studied the underlying patterns, how sentences flow, how jokes land, how humans actually communicate.
Now, here is a really crucial point. The AI doesn't actually read words at all. It reads what we call tokens. Since computers only understand math, just numbers, every single word you type has to be converted into numbers first. Think of a token as a tiny puzzle piece of text. Sometimes it's a whole word, and sometimes it's just a chunk of a word. And the AI operates entirely on these numeric tokens.
Let's look at how that actually works. Take a complex phrase like artificial intelligence. The machine doesn't see two neat little words. It chops it up into numeric tokens, maybe artificial, intel, and agents. By breaking language down into these mathematical puzzle pieces, the system can crunch massive amounts of human text through its computational layers. It's basically the secret language of AI.
Moving on to layer 2, neural networks and transformers. So inside this massive digital brain, all those numeric tokens are zooming through millions of mathematical layers in what's called a neural network. This is where the real heavy lifting happens. And the absolute game changer here, the breakthrough that makes this tech feel so smart, is an architecture called transformers. Older AI used to really struggle to remember context in a long sentence, but transformers, they let the system look at all the surrounding words at the exact same time, understanding the intricate relationships between them. This is the exact leap that took us from clunky chatbots to the powerhouse systems we use today.
Here's a quick example. Take the sentence, the bank of the river is beautiful. Transformers are what help the AI recognize that bank here means the side of a river, not a place where you deposit cash. By analyzing the surrounding tokens, like river and beautiful, it assigns the exact right mathematical weight to the word bank. It's not just staring at isolated words, it actually gets the context of the entire thought. And that context awareness is exactly why its responses feel so remarkably human.
Okay, layer 3, generating answers through probability. Let's see what happens when you type a prompt like explain black holes, and finally hit enter. The AI doesn't just go fetch a pre-written paragraph from a database. No, it rapidly generates the answer word by word, in real time, through an endless predictive loop. It breaks your prompt into tokens, does the math, and predicts just the very first word. Then it takes that new word, tacks it onto your original prompt, and predicts the next one. It repeats this cycle thousands of times in a matter of seconds. It is quite literally building its response to you completely from scratch.
But, how does it actually decide what word comes next? Like in a sentence starting with, Paris is the capital of. If it's building everything from scratch token by token, it needs a rock-solid way to pick the absolute best next piece to make the sentence make sense to us. This is where the math really shines. It's calculating probabilities every single millisecond and just picking the mathematical winner. The AI isn't searching for the truth or the correct answer. It is purely choosing the most probable next word based on all the patterns it learned during training. So France is a 90% probability? Boom, it chooses France. The AI isn't thinking. It is basically the world's most incredibly advanced autocomplete system, operating on a scale we've literally never seen before.
Finally, Layer 4, AI limitations and the future.
Now, because this whole system relies entirely on predicting patterns rather than knowing actual facts, it definitely comes with some massive limitations. Since it can't fact-check itself, it can fall victim to what we call hallucinations. That's when it boldly spits out false information like it's absolute truth. If a lie perfectly matches the learned patterns, the AI will generate an answer that sounds structurally flawless and super confident, even if it's completely fabricated. It doesn't know it's lying because it doesn't know facts. It only knows what token mathematically comes next. That is exactly why it is incredibly important to always double-check critical info.
But look, even with those limitations, what this predictive engine can already achieve is just staggering. It's not truly thinking, but it's a revolutionary first step. We're looking at a near future with AI assistants managing our entire lives, instant tutoring for any subject you can imagine, and even early disease detection where AI spots data patterns that human doctors might miss. What feels like magic today is going to look totally basic in just a few short years. ChatGPT isn't the finish line. It's just the very first major step into a huge new frontier.
Think about it. If a machine that doesn't even know it's talking to you can already write code and pass medical exams, what happens when it finally learns to actually reason? We are watching the line between human and artificial intelligence get thinner every single day. So if you enjoyed this explainer video, please subscribe my channel.